James Gilliland with As You Wish Talk Radio. We're going to take it out to the Skywatch. Tonight, I've got a few things I wanted to cover. A lot of people are feeling some major shifts going on and things happening on every level, in your relationship levels and, business and your church relationships, everything. It seems like we're in this process where everything is unfolding, everything is unwinding, and everything is actually coming apart. And we're talking a lot about that today with several other people that all seem to be going in through the same process. And I see a lot of times, this old program that we're on, this old way of being, and everything, it's a sinking ship. It's going down. And there's this other beautiful luxury liner sitting right next to it, And we are hanging on to that old sinking ship so hard and trying to, maintain the status quo, keep everything, copacetic, keep everything, without change, basically. And the only thing constant is change. It's the one thing that, if I were to give a prophecy with 100% accuracy, I would have to say there's going to be extreme change in your near future. So we're just going to have to get used to it and learn to deal with this and learn to flow with it versus trying to make it something other than it is. And we need to take a very hard look at our reality and what's manifesting, with that reality. So basically, we are moving into that phase. We're moving into the pivot point, which is in March of the 9th wave or unity consciousness. And we're already feeling the energies coming in around that. And, anything that's out of unity that is working through the program of me and mine and self is just falling apart. And these concepts of ownership and exclusivity on every level are just falling apart. I notice, the churches and the religious institutions, they have these exclusive gods and these exclusive masters and beings, and that's falling apart. And we've had some amazing events happen here where, Mary has appeared, with multiple witnesses actually having this experience, feeling her, feeling, extreme tears. Lately we're having the rooms filling up with roses, just amazing connections happening. And these old prophets of the past are coming along with the ultra-dimensional. So it's all interconnected. But we have these little boxes that we want to, put everything into so we can feel safe and secure. And a lot of the intellectual boxes we have, these old sciences are just falling by the wayside. But, they're not going to go kicking and screaming. So, basically, if we would all just learn to kind of like let go and just go with this flow and master, becoming the observer and just start watching things as they unfold around us, rather than being in reactionary mind and reacting to everything that's happening around us, we'll do much better off. But if we try to fix everything or we entangle ourselves with all these messes and all of these unwindings and everything else, we're going to go, by the wayside along with these old programs. So basically, you're not alone. There's a huge energy shift coming in. It's been coming in. It's exponential. It's coming in cycles. And we are undergoing the vibrational continuum, the lifting that's coming down through the vibrational continuum. And there's other ways of explaining this, but there's a massive energy influx coming in. If you want to do it on a 3D level, it's coming in from the center of this galaxy. It's moving through, our solar system now. It's moving through. It's touching the entire universe. So this is a big event. It's much bigger than we can imagine. It's not just one dimension that this is happening on. It's that the other dimensions are pressing hard on the Earth and assisting us in this grand evolutionary jump that we're undergoing. These shifts happening are not pretty for some people. Some people are experiencing ecstatic states of bliss and power and just feeling really grounded in their own self-authority, you might say, and other people are being just kicked all over the place, because they haven't found their own self-authority. They can't anchor these energies in because they haven't created the necessary alignments and and haven't done their homework or their own, they haven't engaged their own healing process. And my heart goes out to these people because it's going to be a very, very hard journey for these people when these energies come in even stronger than they are now. I know, on the political front, I heard that, we're pulling all the troops out of Iraq. I don't know. It's the lies and the deceptions are so blatant right now. I don't know how anybody misses it. But the majority of the troops over there are not our troops. They're contractors. And they're going to still be there. We're going to have all these bases over there. It's still totally, the oil is the main key, controlling the oil. And, we have to get back to the brass tacks of all this is we haven't needed the oil since the 30s and even probably before that. We've had fuel energy technology and other technologies that make oil an unnecessary thing, and we don't have to use our armies, as the corporate, military, the arm to ensure that we continue utilizing oil and polluting the planet and making a lot of rich people even richer. It's sad, but we have to really start looking at the pharmaceutical industry, the war industry, and the oil industry, and look at where they're taking us, because they're taking us down a road of no return, and it's definitely the downward spiral. And if we are going to continue to support it and be a part of it, then that's your karma. If you align yourself with the beast, when the beast goes down, you go with the beast. It's that simple. And I'm not saying this in judgment or to condemn anybody. It's just, basically it's just a fact. This is where we're going. We are shifting. We are moving to the next level. There are people that aren't going to make that shift. It's very clear. There are people that are very self-centered, they have this sense of entitlement. They think everybody in the world owes them a living, and they don't care how their profits come. They have no care whatsoever for life. Even human life, it doesn't matter about animal or plant life or forests or, oceans, as we've seen in the Gulf. I was totally amazed when the head of the BP said, there's something trillion barrels of oil down there and we are going to get it, It's just, when did these guys stop? When did they learn? This spill is just one of many spills going on, and the ocean there is a big cesspool. And, it's time that we stop this nonsense and start cleaning up this mess and start looking for alternative energies, because if we don't do this pretty soon, we're not going to have an ecosystem. And I don't care if you've got a brand new Porsche, you're not going to have any roads or any gas or anywhere to drive it, because the earth is not going to be there for you. So we are having some major changes coming up. We've set these into motion. It's a natural cycle that we're going to be undergoing, and it's aggravated by man. And so we're doing our best to aggravate this natural cycle, and we're not paying attention to what's happening around us and what nature is saying. So, there's an old saying, I think Chief Seattle said that, take a man out of nature, you harden his heart. And we have some very, very hard-hearted people running the country now. And all they care about is profit. And they sit in their cubicles and they crunch numbers and they tear down forests, they destroy oceans, they do whatever's necessary to keep that corporate profit going. And it's very sad. I know there's some people, Horowitz, there's a lot of whistleblowers out there that are taking a lot of heat, and it'd be good to send them a nice support, email or just some support, and say, let them know, even send them some funds or something to help them with any legal battles that they have, because they're under the gun right now, and they're facing some pretty big charges that have been brought up against them. And certain factions out there are doing everything they can to take these whistleblowers out that are, coming down on the big pharmaceutical companies, which are, creating some pretty nasty diseases out there, releasing them, and then making billions on the antidote. So these guys really need our support. We need to get behind them, and maybe I'll get him on the show here real soon. There's quite a few things going on. But we have to start paying attention and start supporting the people that are trying to turn this planet around, get behind them, and help them out, even if you don't have any funds to throw their way, or help them, with their legal battles or whatever. Just send them some support. Stand behind them. If there's meetings, if there's meetings or court cases or whatever, fill those courts up. Go in there and just fill the courts up so they know that people care about these issues and people are paying attention, and get behind these people. So it's very important that, we support this process. We support the awakening and healing process, and we support those on the forefront of this process, because, there is a lot of slamming going on out there. I know that we have our trials and tribulations here, and we have, a lot of processes going on. Everybody's going through the process here at the ranch. And, we're having to deal with county issues and things like that. And there are people that would really like to see us go away, basically, and which is understandable. If that isn't occurring, you're not doing your job. If your life is just cool and coasting and life's a breeze and everything else, you're part of the status quo. You're just flowing along with social consciousness. And I hate to tell you, but social consciousness and the status quo is about to change, and nature is the one that's going to have the last word when all this comes down. But, if your boat is being rocked and you're rocking everybody else's boat and you're making waves out there, then kudos to you. That's the way it should be. It's you're not going to have everybody like you. You're not going to have everybody love you. You're not going to have everything that you want, because your soul is pressing forward with a different agenda, and it's usually a higher agenda. So anyway, there's a lot of shifts happening, a lot of changes on every level. People are waking up in every arena. These major institutions are now being seen, for what they are and what they've done, and their karma is coming home to roost. And we are in those times, and everything out of alignment with unity consciousness is not going to fare well in the days to come. So there are some huge planetary shifts coming up. I know there's a big one in September. There's another big one in November, where things are just going to get crazy. And so, it's time to buck up and stand in your self-authority and prepare on every level, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, every level. We've got to clean up our closets right now. There's quite a few other things going on. What I'm seeing is that we have to admit that there are people that just aren't going to make it. They haven't even started their process. They don't want to start their process. And, they just want to basically, eat their fast food and throw out insults and ridicule and distortions, and make assumptions and whatever. That's where they want to be, and that's okay. And their soul has a big lesson for them coming around the corner, and that's between them and their soul. And sometimes it's time to just step aside and let that work itself out. Let those lessons come down the pike, however they need to come, because, everybody has their own unique purpose for being here. Everybody has their own roles to play, you might say, and, who are we to judge another for their role or their program? That might be what they need to experience. We just don't know, because there's a much bigger picture unfolding. But right now we need to focus on our own evolution and our own healing process, and our own awakening. We need to start releasing, all of those people that we're dragging behind us and carrying, and just pull our energies in.